Davide, ciao.
Ciao Alon.
Va bene?
Perfetto, tutto bene. Hello to everyone.
Hello to everyone. Thank you for logging in. Thank you, Davide, for sitting down with me for a second time. We had such a lovely chat on the previous season, episode 7, season 2. We had so much ground to cover, and I'm super happy you made time in your very busy schedule to sit down with me again to continue our chat. But I'm even more excited because today you are as well the CEO and creative director of HYT Watches, which I utterly love. Utterly love. So congratulations. I already personally congratulated when you started. I think it was announced end of last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, correct. Exactly.
Yeah.
Actually, it will be 1 year this Friday.
Amazing. Congratulations on your first anniversary.
Thank you.
It's amazing what you did with the turnaround of the brand. You revived it. I believe you guys have one model, 2 calibers, 3 references. Correct?
Yes, we have 3
Till
product
now.
lines which correspond to the 3 caliber or 3 complication, absolutely. And then we have overall 7 drops which are coming this year. So a lot of
Amazing.
nice things.
Amazing. I want to learn everything about that. So welcome back on season 3 of the Ace List. Oh, we already did the standard 7 the Ace List questions, so I'm not going to ask you those.
Exactly.
For our viewers that don't know Davide Cerrato, which is very difficult not to know him, he's a living legend in the both design world and watch industry. Has a long track record, and correct me if I'm wrong, Davide. Panerai, Tudor, Montblanc. You've done a lot of freelance stuff, and now today with HYT. Did I forget something?
No, you did not forget something.
Okay,
About
perfect.
15 years of career before into other stuff, but yes,
Yeah,
watchmaking, that's all.
that's always an understatement. It's quite some track record, and what I love, Davide, it strikes me now because when we do a wrist check in a few seconds, it shows that you have a wide spectrum. You know how to respectfully bring retro vintage into the modern era. But with HYT, you did something totally blank, out of the blue, contemporary, cutting edge, avant-garde, whatever title we want to use. So that's amazing. So your spectrum is very wide. It is a tradition on the show. We start with a wrist check. What are you wearing today, David?
I'm offering to all of you something very special. I'm wearing the very, very, very last drop of HYT, which we call white neon, the Moon Runner white neon. And it's we have not yet almost started to communicate to it. It's a 10-year limited edition for the 10th anniversary of HYT. And what is absolutely crazy about this watch is the luminescence. So I don't know how much you can see through the camera, but
We see it. We see it.
not only everything is incredibly luminescent in terms of dial, but also the mid case is made of a very special material called tech light, which is completely luminescent in the mass. So the whole luminescent is blue, and the thing glows like a laser sword of a Jedi. So
Amazing.
very, very special watch.
Amazing. Amazing. Congratulations. It's not on the website yet, I saw, which I'll show in a bit. So
Exactly.
that's beautiful. Congratulations on that. And I didn't know what to strap on because I still don't have an HYT watch in my private collection.
Need to speak about
So I did a little tribute to you.
Thank you very much.
So I am a proud owner of several designs off your hands in the Tudor collections, also in the Montblanc collection. So I've been a huge fan of your work for quite some time. So I want to build actually maybe a bridge between the previous episode and today's episode before we do a deep dive into what you're doing today, because I'm super curious We had some questions from viewers beforehand that couldn't join live. How has 22 been so far for you? And please walk me maybe through end of 21 into getting into HYT.
Absolutely. I joined HYT 1st of July 21. That's why it will be in a few days, the first full year. It's been a really incredible, energizing, crazy, fast moving, fast forward adventure. I joined 1st of July. We started to work to set up all the supplier team during July and August, and I need to really thank them because we can be here with all these new watches in such a crazy short time, thanks to the dedication, the support, and the passion of all these incredible guys. 1st of September, we started to set up again the team. We are now 11, so small team, but super passionate and super talented, and with a very fantastic, unique mix of people over 50 with long experience in the industry and young guys super passionate about it. And yes, we started to put the new strategy together in early fall 21. With a big focus on quality that had been one of the issues of the past of HYT. So we have completely rewrote, reset the project on the industrial side and the quality side, using the very last version of the Fluidic module, using the very last mechanical movement developed with Eric Coudray, and we use it as a base to build up the three complication, the three layer of the skyrocket, and we have completely redone the design and the habillage to bring in something very qualitative, very reliable, and also to bring in a dimension of customization and personalization, thanks to the modular way in which the habillage has been built, and we have brought in a completely new communication environment, explaining which is the meaning of HYT, heroes of your time. Who are the heroes of your time? Are all the people that bring to us here now hints of what's going to come and of the future. Elon Musk, X-Space, a race to Mars, the dream of going back to the moon, James Webb Telescope, and going in the farther universe to look for new form of life. All these dream that is coming back again, of exploring space, of going beyond, of as Elon Musk says, becoming a multi-planet species and so on. And it's very powerful. It's becoming now since 4 or 5 years really everywhere. Every day there is a new NASA European Space Agency info about these things, all these researches about stars with exoplanets that can have a possible condition to see the life and so on. And the new campaign, the link with all of these, the new strategy, new retail approach. We have developed a partnership with Brilliantine, this crazy artist, doing video mapping projection on a 3D print of the watch and giving a totally immersive experience, which we call Retail 4.0. And at Christmas, just the day before Christmas, I had my Christmas gift, which was the asteroid green nebula on the wrist, the very first prototype. 27th of January, we started communicating the brand again, setting up the website and so on. And during the Geneva Watch Week, I don't know how to call it, during the Watches and Wonders Week, we were not in Watches and Wonders. We took over the space of Antiquorum next to the Four Seasons, but we presented a second drop of asteroid, the green laser with a full composite green crazy case, and the first execution of the Moon Runner, the blue one, blue and gray one, that is, and Moon Runner is really becoming the the icon of the new HYT crazy design, what perfect expression of what I call space design, with this transfiguration, morphing of a classical complication like a triple calendar into something completely crazy, three-dimensional plastic, cinetic, moving around it with this crazy dome.
Davide, I need to do a timeout.
Exactly.
You are hero of my time of watch design. Okay? You are literally in stratosphere, in space. You are passionate, you're creative, you hit the ground running. We need to take a few steps back for those that either never heard of HYT or know the old HYT.
Absolutely.
First of all, we have the hero of our time, of consumers, social media, watch collecting, Rocky. He set up the Watch 4 crew. He has not missed one episode of the Ace Lists. He immediately clicked on the tagline of HYT, Heroes of Your Time. He writes on YouTube, how cool is that with a smiley? Welcome, Rocky. Now, for those that are not familiar with HYT, new or old, the funny story is Davide and I are friends, and our mutual friend is Vincent Perriard. And I became friends with Vincent a decade ago when he started with HYT. The first time I met him and got a HYT watch in my hands, it blew my mind. Why? You see here on the dial, Mecca Fluidic technology. For those dear viewers and watch collectors that don't know what that means, let us walk you through it. And please, Davide, correct me if I'm wrong. This was the first ever, and I still think the only brand and caliber
it is
that uses mechanics and fluid to indicate time. This is basically a regulator movement. The hands of the minutes and hours are separated, but not with a dial and a hand. The hours are indicated by fluids, meaning at 12, it's fully transparent. And as the hour progresses, the tube goes from transparent to green. Correct, Davide?
Yes, the fluid is encapsulated into a specific module that has two pistons, as you can see on the dial.
These are the pistons.
Exactly. One of the piston is full with a color liquid, in this case the green, the green one, and the other piston is full with a transparent liquid. The mechanical movement is operating this crazy alien piece of alien technology, and the conjunction between fluid, colored and transparent, is moving into a capillary to indicate time.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Davide, the white and green touch each other and they don't mix.
Exactly. All the character, it's a very high end technology piece. That's why I used to call it alien technology. The whole thing, the whole fluidic module with the piston, with the capillary and with the liquid inside, is sealed and is 10,000 more waterproof than a diving watch. So no interaction with the external environment, and no influence of pressure or whatever. It's the two fluids don't mix, the two fluids don't stick to the walls of the capillary thanks to a particular treatment. The pistons are at the same time super thin, 1/4 of a human hair, and at the same time flexible. They come from a supplier of NASA. They are crazy high-end piece of technology, and everything is integrated into a mechanical or a hybrid watch, and everything is operated by the mechanical movement. So is the mechanical movement. It is a very unique one, special, capable of operating those bellows or pistons like in a car. And the way in which the time is displayed, as you can see on the screen, is that the 6 has been split into 2. That's why you have two lines next to the 6. and the time is displayed in 2 cycles of 12 hours. So let's say we start at 6 in the morning. It goes with always the same speed, 6, 7, 8, 9, till 6 p.m. When it comes to 6 p.m., automatically it makes a retrograde movement. The pistons get back to the initial position. It takes 1 minute to come back, and then we start all over again from 6 p.m. to 6 in the morning. So very, very unusual.
So I want people to take a pause to understand what is happening in the watch and why it's so cheap for this micromechanics with fluids, pistons. And think about it. It can regulate 6 hours, so 12 hours,
12 hours.
6, and then 1 minute it can shoot back without the two colors mixing. Think about that.
Never mixing. Exactly.
If you grasp that, that's amazing. It gives a beautiful visual effect. You guys have shown you have green and blue right now. You just shown white. The past models, there was a little break. There was a little break in the history of HYT, but still with the same team, and you added to the team. So aesthetically, it's a beautiful, kinetic, liquid, mechanical piece of art. And then the old pieces were nice, but when you add Cerrato flavor to it, Cerrato spices, you get haute cuisine, and you took it literally to the next level. That's out of this world into space. So can we talk about that now, Davide? Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Talk about design. So you inherited a lot of creative movements and watch designs, but you didn't use any of it, did you? You started from zero.
Exactly. Perhaps we need to specify this. The previous organization, the previous company went bankrupt in March of 21 last year.
Yeah.
And then a new group of investors, Swiss and from abroad, I joined and I invested myself, believing in the huge potential of the brand. We bought back all the assets of the brand. We set up a new team, and we, rewrote the strategy and the design. So we took this Fluidic module, which was the very last generation of the Fluidic module, encapsulating 10 years of improvement, that was not completely finished. So we ended the development, and we are using it. It's a little bit smaller in diameter and in thickness of the platen, which was going into the direction of what we wanted to achieve: slimmer, lighter, more wearable watch, and more mechanical. We took a movement that was developed with Eric Coudray and Tech Group, very reliable, with this crazy innovation that you see on the back, with this very big wheel with 13 cam that allows to perfectly synchronize fluidic and mechanical timing. And we used this movement as a base to create 3 complications: central minutes, triple calendar, and a crazy complication that will come next October. And we decided to also redecorate completely the movement with a very modern, futuristic, future-oriented touch. So everything is black, is dark, and there are laser finishing. On purpose, we decided to go into the future and to use a very unique way of, already displaying time through this hybrid affichage, and also to, having something that is very modern, very unusual, very different, very future-oriented, very contemporary, starting to write a watchmaking design for the next century. And then, in terms of design, we thicken the case almost 40%. Now the case is 13 millimeter thick, which is like a normal automatic chrono. We lighten the watch of half. Now the watch weighs between 80 and 90 grams, using carbon fiber, titanium, special composite, all very light material. And we came with this very futuristic design where you have this particular shape of the case with opening on the case that allow you to see through. The dial is in sapphire. You can see through the bellows and through the movement, and you have almost a skeletonized dial, which dematerializes, it lightens even more the watch. The watch is incredibly comfortable to wear. I have a standard size of wrist. You can see how it perfectly fits. For the strap, we are using rubber and Alcantara. We took back the design of the space suits with these square three-dimensional effects. We are playing a lot on luminescence, which is also in the very heart of the DNA of HYT, this technological touch. The watch that you have on the screen that we call the green laser, asteroid green laser, has even in the honeycomb grid that is behind the numerals, a special hybrid ceramic that is completely luminescent. So the numerals are superluminova blocks. They glow from all the sides, and we use the very last Tritech technology. So the glowing lasts a long time. The hand has superluminova blocks on it. The logo that is sitting on the sapphire is in superluminova blocks. Everything is glowing, and there are a lot of detail. As you can see on the side, there are these pockets with the honeycomb grid, and behind the honeycomb grid there is some color green on the one that is on the screen, and
again, Davide,
other colors. You see there is blue here behind it. A very unique design capable of expressing this very modern take on watchmaking, and the exclusivity, the rarity, the uniqueness of a brand like HYT.
Amazing. So I've just shown Rocky's comment when you started about the redesign of the case. He writes, "Love the new design. They're not that chunky like before. Bravo." So you walked us through what you've done in evolution. You could have chosen the easy route because the HYT 1.0 was already groundbreaking and crazy and skulls and colors and everything, but you don't take the easy route ever, and you started from zero. Now, I would love a quick masterclass, very quickly, about the differences. So if we look at the Asteroid collection, we have two references now. The Moonrunner now has two as well.
Yeah.
The green laser and green nebula are just color iterations. Same caliber,
but different material for the case. The green nebula is 2 caps of titanium, DLC treated, really very high end. It looks like ceramic.
Yeah.
And in the middle, you have carbon fiber. For the green laser is a composite. The 2 caps, top and down, are in composite. A composite that is as strong as ceramic but lighter, that we have in 18 color, by the way. So we will be able of playing a lot with colors, and colors will be at the very heart of the design expression of HYT. And in the middle, you have titanium that is DLC treated and polished. So you have this nice, contrast between the green composite that is matte and the shiny DLC titanium. And this is our, let's say, entry and our first layer of the space rocket. Central minutes, you have this big central end that is, sitting on a dramatic bridge that is cut out from the sapphire crystal. You have a running second at 9. You have the power reserve at 3. Power reserve is 72 hours, almost 3 days. All the watches are limited and numbered in 27, so everything is very rare. And the white neon is in 10 pieces for the 10th anniversary. So this watch...
Sorry to stop you 1 second. So they are limited editions, numbered?
Yeah, correct.
Obviously, there are more than 27 and 10 collectors in the world that would love it. Why limit yourself that way? Do you think that the future of, I call this the ultra luxury, this is the pinnacle, this is the frontier of pushing the envelope of horlogerie? Okay, yes. I put you guys on level of Uhrwerk, MBNF. That's why I put HYT used to and still do. That's why I see you guys.
Yeah.
There's no boundaries, literally. So why limit yourself that way? Do the collectors want that? Is there philosophy behind it from your end?
Yeah, collectors are hunting for rare pieces up to one-off. They are investing money into pieces that are meant to grow in value over time, and this is only possible if they are limited, they are unique, they are rare. Hence the approach that we decided to take. So once the series is finished, it's over, and we will do something else, and we will build up really, the brand is a house of creativity. So giving this choice and balancing this with the limited edition is very important. And also the whole project has been developed with in mind the fact that probably up to 30 to 40% of our sales, and we are already seeing this, it's going to be on special edition, meaning a limited edition developed with our partner at retail level or with your media partner, or limited edition for a group of friends, for a one-off, for a collectors, and so on. And we have already seen a lot of demand coming into this direction. Our market level has as a rule these limitation of availability and rarity and uniqueness of what you do.
Amazing. So thank you for sharing that. So going to the next step, new caliber, initially
Exactly.
blue, today with the super luminous white. Walk us through the caliber.
Absolutely. So the caliber is the 601 MO Moon. We have taken a classical complication, the triple calendar, which normally is two-dimensional. You have windows, a disk, everything is two-dimensional, flat numerals, and we have exploded into three dimensions. So the moon has become a half sphere that spins around its axis. It's overcome by this dramatic bridge that is a very plastic element, and also allows you in the circle to read the moon phase. And then you have two discs around.
So Davide, sorry.
Yes.
So on the picture, it's a full moon right now.
Correct. Exactly.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And it's March
28. Exactly. March 28. Correct.
Exactly, because the stripe is a 28 here.
Exactly. So you have two discs that give you the day and the month.
So everything the fluid is the hours.
Exactly.
Fluid is hours.
The minute.
The arrow is the minute.
Yeah. And
then you have date, moon phase.
Month, and moon phase.
All hand wound. And is there any programming in the calendar?
No, it's a simple triple calendar.
Yeah. So you need to set it, the moon every 29 and a half days.
Exactly.
And date every other month. You need to help with the hand.
Exactly.
Amazing.
Correct.
Amazing. I love it.
What is very powerful here is that, and it's an application of what I call space design, the plastic three-dimensional and dynamic kinetic dimension of the expression is as important as the function itself. And on top of this, there is this crazy sapphire crystal dome that you don't see at all when you see in the front, but that you, as soon as you tilt, you discover this kind of hublot of a spaceship, and that is really playful and dramatic and modern, and this to me is really, if the purpose of the asteroid somewhere is making a connection with the previous history of HYT, making the bridge, the galactic bridge, Stargate, it's our Stargate. The Moonrunner is really shows you where we are going, is the first jump into the new generation of this crazy galactic adventure, and shows you completely unique movement The movement is 516 components, as much as a minute repeater. Very, very complex movement. The design is crazy. You haven't seen anything like that since now. Is as simple as that. It's light, it's wearable, it's robust. We have crazy tested it. It's really high complication that you can wear every day. And it's unique and it's funny.
Amazing.
Playful.
Amazing. So Rocky replied to your previous comment about the old versus new HYT. He writes, I noticed the prices are now around 70K ex taxes and going up. Previously, the price started around 40K. Are there any plans to make models in that price range? So he means lower, or will your HYT, let me call 2.0 your HYT, is 70 and up the platform, or where do you see the evolution of HYT from now onwards? You already gave some answers before I showed this question, but he asked this question before you started.
Sure. First, thank you very much for the question. It's true that we didn't spoke about prices. All these valuable technology and high-end expression of watchmaking and design comes with a price, for sure. In the past, before the story of the previous HYT ended, they tried to make an exploration into lower prices, dramatically simplifying the watch. The movement was not visible anymore. So somewhere, all the mechanical mastery was let down, and it was all focused on the fluidic part, and it didn't work. The result is it's the integration of the two that makes the story unique. It's not just the fluidic or just the mechanical. And if you put both of them together, but then the price at which we come is 70 and 75 for the green laser, correct, plus taxes, is 120 for the Moonrunner, the blue and gray with this very crazy ceramization of titanium, very resistant for the case, and is 130 plus taxes for the white neon in limited edition 10 pieces, and that will be, by the way, available only on the website starting from the 15th of July. So, and we are really now working to build desirability and value. So definitely our price position will be 70 and more.
So A, we had a scoop. B, you answered the question very well. Thank you so much. And you explained why. It's not marketing mumbo jumbo. No. And you already answered another question of mine, what you believed was the roadblock for old HYT. And you just gave us the answer. So it's why they hit a brick wall, basically. So it's very interesting. It's a very beautiful analysis, which I think is spot on. So I hope, thank you for the question, Rocky. I hope Davide answered it. What I wanted to ask you, Davide, so how has, you started already a year ago, it was launched end 21, beginning 22 at the fairs in the world. How has it been? How has HYT been received? I mean, you're talking literally about, it's not a handful, but it's less than 100 pieces. So there are only a few lucky people on this planet, or in space for that matter. How has it been so far?
It's been super exciting. People have reacted in a very, very positive way. The direction is appreciated very much. The new design and all the efforts we have done to improve ergonomy and to make something wearable, technical, technological, modern, futuristic, playful, unique, rare are really welcomed. We had a watch week in Geneva, very successful. Orders were super strong, and all our retail partners that I also need to thank very much. We have completely reset all our distribution, simplifying very much. We have around 20 partners in the world, and we are really working with them on the long term to build up together HYT on a long-term basis. Few partners to give them, a zone to develop their business. Only very serious one that have the means and the knowledge to build up a brand and to handle, rarity, exclusivity, and brand equity. We have started now since 2 months to deliver the watches, and I must say I'm very pleased by the fact that many of those watches have already been sold in the first week of delivery. So
Amazing.
this shows that so this shows that people are really appreciating it, and that sellout is there, which is absolutely fundamental when you're relaunching. And and there is a lot of excitement. I could experience myself an incredible goodwill that there is around HYT. And when in November we made the first post saying HYT is back, we received an incredible amount of messages and mails saying, "Fantastic, guys, it's fantastic you are there again. Watchmaking really needs a brand like HYT." So despite what happened, there was and there is still a very strong connection with the brand.
Yeah.
Where you are unique, and we are rebuilding, our space platform on new fundamentals that are very strong. So now as everyone else in the market, we are a little bit running behind with the production to be able to deliver all the watches that we have sold.
You're actually quite quick. You're quite quick.
Yeah, which is a
You're
good.
quick. If you started a year ago, launching only 6 months ago, and delivering already, you're very quick. So compliments to you.
It has been a crazy miracle once again, thanks to the dedication and hours and efforts and weekends and nights of all the team here and all of our supplier. And we are succeeding with this crazy adventure. And now really making all our effort to serve as many customers as we can before the summer break, and then being able of following up. There are new drops coming in September, very interesting ones, and there is a crazy third layer of the spaceship that is coming in October, which will definitely show you the direction of the brand and the crazy creativity and virtuosity that we are bringing at all levels. So we are very excited. I'm very excited to see those kids, those creations coming into life.
Amazing. So that was also a follow-up question I had. So what exciting projects can we expect the coming 12 months? So that you already gave us 2 hints. I would love, before we get more questions from our viewers, is a question I have. I'm very much sensitive to fonts. It's very clear that you have a design code for the numerals.
Correct.
I mean, till now, they're all the same case, different calibers, but they all have 2 things in common. That's the numerals and the fluidity.
Yeah.
Did you design the font?
Yes, we did. We redesigned it, and we make it a little bit more technical, technological, and modern. They are clearly inspired by the historical HYT ones, and that's clear. One of the connection that was, the Stargate, the connection with the brand equity, as much as this very dramatic minute hand that we have designed on the asteroid is making reference to the H2 that was designed with that was developed with APRP at the time, and that was a very successful watch. So we are taking some of those codes. The bellows are there, the pistons, the capillary, and so on. But then we brought in a lot of new elements, this honeycomb grid, the fact that the numerals are 3-dimensional and are on an inclined support, that are in superluminova blocks. Behind the capillary, we have put superluminova so that at night it brights in a crazy way. The flange that we are put inside with the minutes, the sapphire, this crazy sapphire crystal, very, very complex to realize, to have the logo, the Mecca Fluidic technology, inscription, and so on. The case has been completely redesigned with this new crown, protecting crown device that is very technological, with this position of our crown between 2 and 3. And the watch is really, really, really wearable. It sits so well now on the wrist, is light, is comfortable to wear, is recognizable from a side. Each time I take the plane, I can tell you how many people stop me to what is this, which brand it is. It's really eye stopper. So I think design is a very, very important component of the relaunch. Recognizability of the brand of the product from afar is the first vehicle is the best vehicle of communication.
It's amazing how you indeed took these elements from the old to the new, the bridge you built. What was the biggest obstacle for you? What gave you the biggest headache when starting?
Well, $1 million question, but everything was crazy. Everything was crazy difficult. When you restart after a bankruptcy, you don't start from zero, but from minus 100. So, you need to regain trust with the supplier, with the team, with the retailer, with the customer, with the media. So it was, to be honest, everything was incredibly challenging. But as always, when you are passionate about something, when you have a clear vision, when we can share the vision, when the strategy is strong, and each time I met those people and we shared the strategy, the project, the connection with space, going up, and the level of investment that we did in terms of quality, in terms of test, and perhaps here, then the trust and the excitement and the passion was coming, and all of a sudden you are part of a group of people that are all pushing in the same direction. Supplies gave us so much energy, time at night, during the weekend, making crazy miracles to pull out the first prototypes, and they were as excited as us, from the owner of the supplier to the person on the machine that also really was,
I understand why, because for them it's fun to create new stuff as well. Absolutely. I mean, 95% of the watch market is 100 years old. What we're making, it's not that innovative. There are few that really innovate, if you think about it.
Absolutely.
Rather boring for those watchmakers.
Absolutely.
Or producers of components.
Very cool. Absolutely. And in the world of independence, for this is fantastic, and for me also is a fantastic discovery. Fits me perfectly, it's a fantastic space of expression of new things, of creativity, of which really watchmaking deserves. Needs challenging a little bit the status quo, and pushing the boundaries off. It's our objective, and it's our purpose of all us. If I speak in this,
raison d'être. For you yourself, have you done designs that future forward, that innovative, that out of the box?
It's the first time, and it's incredibly nice, fresh space of creativity, it's so nice after hard work and sleepless night, and your brain going light speed for days and months, to see that despite the zillions of watches and brand already existing, you can always came out with something new, with something different, with something fresh. And that's the beauty of watchmaking. Myself, each time I go to a fair, I come out and say, bloody hell, how is it possible that the world digests all this thing? And it's beautiful to see that there is always a different space to create something new and strong. I think the design of the case, of the dial, is super powerful. I'm so happy we really found something that is at the same time unique and powerful, and at the same time expressing so deeply and strongly and powerfully the DNA of the brand, which really stands for innovation, for this magic balance between technology and watchmaking, this spectacular watchmaking execution. I think that we really found this crazy balance, and the Moonrunner is the perfect example. The watch is big. I cannot say it's small. It's a 48 millimeter steel diameter, which is an important one. But because it's light, because it's thin, because it's transparent, the volume takes meaning. And the fact that now we have found this code, which is we put the complication in the middle of the watch, and those are three-dimensional plastic spectacular executions. Then the balance between this space that you have and this volume and the way in which you use it makes something absolutely fantastic and powerful. I studied architecture before studying industrial design, and I remember Pei, the Chinese architect of the pyramid of the Louvre, speaking about how he set up the whole project, and it was about the architecture itself, the space available, the volumes, but also thinking at how this will look when you have the flows of hundreds or thousands of people every day that goes here and there, take the elevator, goes up the stair, and yes, these flows. And that's exactly what we are doing here. When you have a crazy case, very powerful, and you see through and made of different material, and then you have this crazy space in the middle with already the bellows, the pistons that are incredible. But then you plug to it something like this triple calendar and this gigantic moon and fluorescent and this dramatic bridge overcoming and all things moving like in a planetary system. Bang, then you need this space if you want to do this spectacular thing. You could never do it.
I see a collab coming between you and the new owner of Van der Klauw watches, Pim Koeslach.
Okay.
Planetarium, fluidity. So I think you guys need to talk. Anyways, I love your passion. I love your creative geniuses energy. I'm very happy that you did what you did and where you are, and I think you enjoyed it very much. You don't need to answer this, but I'm going to say something that a lot of people are thinking. Please, and I think you guys considered at HYT, make a MAD, Mad Gallery version of the MBNF for HYT. Think about it. Please the masses that can't obtain an HYT. You don't need to answer.
No, but I'm answering with a great pleasure. We're not here to copy anyone.
No, it's not a copy. I mean the style of making an accessible
MBNF and the Mad Gallery, and Max, who is a friend, has done a fantastic job. And our role is now to come with something different. So definitely we also are innovating in terms of retail and distribution. And I quoted this collaboration that we did with the Brillantin, this crazy artist from super talented from Freiburg here in Switzerland. And we created this, which for me is really retail 4.0 or display 4.0, 40 centimeter 3D impression of the watch, and a projection that gives life to it with both a very luminous execution of the watch with all the function, the moon, everything moves, and also with all the possible changes of colors that show you how much HYT is open and ready to make personalization and customization. You have a headphone with crazy music from space, and you are and the projection always also mix elements of space, of of astronauts or spaceship, of planets, And when you look at it, where we were doing this, the Watch Week in Geneva, and we were giving the headphones to crazy people, even CEO of gigantic distribution groups, they were, blocked 5 minutes seeing. They even didn't see that it was a buckle, and they started all over again 2 or 3 times. And that's, to me, is a first step of our own way of telling our story, displaying our product, emerging customers into our playful, crazy, energetic world.
Amazing.
So I hope next time we speak to announce you that we have found a crazy new concept and That's the purpose and that's the objective.
I love it, and I think it's very much needed. And I'm very happy you have the ability to do it, and the stars aligned that HYT found you and you found HYT. One viewer sent me a question via Instagram that couldn't join live. We have a few more minutes. I have a few more questions from our viewers.
Please.
Are you designing around an existing movement, or do they need new movements to accommodate your design, was his question.
So we have used a movement that was developed with Eric Coudray, the 501, and we have used this as a base because it was very reliable to develop new calibers. So the 3 complications that we are presenting, they are not modules, but they are really integrated new movements. So we have taken this movement, we have changed to be simple. For the asteroid, 40% of the movement, to change all the bridges, to bring this minute 10 and so on. For the Moon Runner, we have changed 60% of the movement. So we use basically all the mechanics that is used to interact between mechanical movement and fluidic module, but we have brought in everything else to bring the moon, the disk, and how all this works. And on the third, which will be the top complication that we are going to present in October, we will have changed 80% of the movement. And now,
is it going to be a gyro tourbillon?
Sorry?
A gyro tourbillon?
I don't know. Keep track. Follow us.
It would be follow you every step you take. Thank you for answering
something that you have never seen. In the first execution of we take the liquid of the capillary and we bring the liquid somewhere else to participate to the spectacular animation of the watch. This is one of our objectives also. When HYT started 10 years ago, made a promise to the watch lovers and collectors to bring craziness into watchmaking with the liquid. 10 years later, we are still at the capillary, but already this year, keep track, follow us. In October, you will see how we can bring these crazy fluids, crazy technological and rare fluids, and use them to animate even more our movement, our watches, and to push once again the boundaries of watchmaking.
I can't wait to see it. Somebody asked on Facebook, will you work with Origin or any other Web3 players to make NFTs and work with blockchain? Do you guys do anything with blockchain, NFTs?
We are working on that, and for sure, as you said, if we will do and when we will do, because it's sure that we will, but it will be with Origin for sure.
Cool. Exciting. Very exciting. Okay, I think we have a few more minutes. Let's see what other nice questions we had. This one. What's your favorite model you've created yourself? And I assume you can answer it for HYT, but also in your whole history if you want to.
I will use a super genius Italian quote. The super genius is Enzo Ferrari. And when he was
next model.
When he was asked this question, is the next model that I will design, and it's so true. It's exactly that. Every time we push further, we bring more sophistication, different thing. It's more playful, and it's also a way of expressing yourself in different ways. So definitely
It's also they're all your babies, aren't they? You love your children.
They are absolutely
The same but differently. Let me add a bonus question to that. Do you find it, as a designer, a creative person that you are, and an amazing one at that, easier to start with a blank slate, which HYT almost was? I mean, you had the restrictions of calibers a bit, the fluidity and the pistons, but you literally brought it back to zero almost. So a free design code or none, or in the boundaries of either a brand code, DNA, or when you do retro pieces, what do you find more difficult? Respecting the tradition of the retro vintage or doing something totally new?
Is absolutely the same. It's always
Same
design. It's
complexity.
design. Yeah, exactly.
It's the same creative difficulty.
Every time you need to find in a completely new solution, a completely new approach, a new expression, the use of different materials. And the common element is you always need to go back to DNA before going to expression and design. So, the complexity of the DNA for a new brand is that you need to shape it, to create, to define. But once you have done it, once you have absorbed the key elements of the DNA, then it's very easy somewhere to explode it into a shape, a design, a color, a material, a product.
So let me jump in, if I may. Is HYT's DNA in the future always Mecca fluidity, or do you see watches that won't have the fluid mechanisms?
It will be absolutely always Mecca fluidic. It's our
So it's that's the
USP, our
DNA
unique.
embedded.
Yeah, absolutely.
Amazing.
If you strip off the fluidic part, then we becomes like anyone else, and we are not.
Amazing. Rocky sends a comment. I think it's a nice concluding comment. He writes on YouTube, great and interesting talk. I think for heroes of your time, the only way is up, in capital letters. I totally agree. I want to thank you, Davide, so much. Again, 1 hour, full energy, full passion, philosophical. We got design masterclass here. I enjoyed it. Thank you for all our viewers, the engagement, the always awesome questions. In 2 weeks, on the 14th of July, Thursday at noon again, another Italian maestro, Piero Marangon. He is the CEO of Nanis Jewelry. He is the husband of the creative Laura Bicego. I don't know if you know her. If not, you should meet her, Davide. You'll love her and him.
The brand is beautiful.
Yeah, and they're lovely people as well. That's it for all our viewers. If you want to see the previous episode with Davide, go to theacelist.com. Rests me to say mille grazie.
Thank you, Alon. Thank you for all of you. It's always a great pleasure to share what we are doing, and I hope you will continue to follow us on HYT.
For sure. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in person very soon.
Long life and prosperity to all of you.
Thank you. Ciao.
Ciao.